the fact is we're all uniquely designed. We're all different. There's not one human being that is the same on this entire planet. No matter when you were born or when you lived, everyone is uniquely different. So the minute we frame success around a person or we attach it to a person, we've just disqualified or eliminated the entire population of the world from ever being able to achieve that. So perhaps maybe instead of stereotyping success around people, we should stereotype successful principles.
Mitch, I think all of us grow up realizing that a word that can represent trouble is stereotypes, particularly, for example, when we go through a social period of racial unrest.
Sure.
You have to be careful about stereotyping people. So when we come to the issue of business success, we get weird about that, like the phrase dress for success,
Sure.
as if you could tell a successful person by what they're wearing.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that picture?
I don't know fully what's wrong with that picture because we all are tempted to do that, right? At some point, we've all been tempted to stereotype people in our life and somehow put them on a pedestal, put them in some type of frame that says this is what success looks like and I have to be this person.
Yeah, my profession has been communication.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there are presidents of the United States that I stereotypically think are probably more successful. It's because they communicate well. Not necessarily true.
Sure. Well, and the problem is when I do that, and probably for most people listening to this, but for when I do that, what I do is I exclude myself immediately from success because the fact is we're all uniquely designed. We're all different. There's not one human being that is the same on this entire planet. No matter when you were born or when you lived, everyone is uniquely different. So the minute we frame success around a person or we attach it to a person, we've just disqualified or eliminated the entire population of the world from ever being able to achieve that. So perhaps maybe instead of stereotyping success around people, we should stereotype successful principles, because I think principles, when we step back and find what it is in that person,
that's transferable.
That's the principle that's transferable, and all of a sudden we can all access what it is in that person and take it and make it our own. And although it may look the same in one way because it's the same principle, it now looks different because we are unique and we can be empowered to actually occupy and access that principle in our own way. For example, growing up as a young kid, I played a lot of baseball. I played baseball all the way up until 2 years out of high school. I was a competitive baseball player, had my eyes on going pro, thought I was going to take Mike Scioscia's spot as the catcher for the Dodgers way back in the day. But in my early career building, when I was playing Little League and sometimes was more focused on the snow cone, right, rather than the baseball, I remember this one player, Kevin Varela, and he was on the Major League Yankees at Sunset Little League when I was playing in that same league. And the reason why I remember Kevin Varela so much is because his name was called out over the PA system for hitting so many home runs in a game. I mean, all season long, this guy was freakishly large for his age, probably should have been in high school, and yet he was playing in, kind of a little league for elementary students. But every time he stood up to the plate, this guy hit a home run. And as I was playing baseball, I enjoyed the game. I was good at the game, but there were moments where I really did begin to think I could never be successful because I'll never hit that many home runs. Or in order to be successful, I got to hit home runs like Kevin. And I just knew I never was going to do that. I wasn't freakishly large, at that age in my life. I was just kind of an average Joe kid playing baseball. One thing that I began to realize is I may not be able to hit home runs, but I had a wicked curveball and I was a pitcher and I could strike people out jumping out of the box on strike 3 with my curveball. And so when the end of the season came, what surprised me was Kevin Varela and myself ended up on the All-Star team. Wow. Now, I didn't do it by hitting home runs, but what I did is I brought what I could do to the game. I made the best of what I could do. I may not have had a home run to hit,
sure,
but I had a curveball I could throw.
So to your way of thinking, what's all this mean for the financial industry professional?
Yeah. Well, if we're talking about successful principles being stereotyped, and I think one that has to rank at the top of our list in the financial industry is people, or people and profit. I know there's a term out there that we've all heard, people over profit.
Yeah.
I like the term better, people and profit, because I do understand, having been in the financial industry for 15 years and supporting financial wholesalers and advisors for many, many years, that profit is a big part of how we serve the people.
Sure it is.
Right? It's something that we want to see gains. We need to see their investments grow. We need to see profit. But when we do that at the expense of the person behind the portfolio, we really lose sight of what it's all about. And as a result, we can make decisions that violate the actual person in the mix there. And we just don't ever want to do that. So it's the principle of people and profit. And I think when we don't do that, it's just a big mistake. Like I see the financial space that we enter into as a financial professional, whether it's an advisor or a wholesaler or whatever consulting role we might play in helping people realize their dream, their dream of building wealth, their dream of leaving an inheritance or a legacy for their family. I really see that as a sacred space. We're being invited in to step into that place. People are bringing us into kind of a holy ground, if you will. Yeah. And when we understand the reverence of that moment, we're going to remember the person and the people that are attached to it. If we lose sight of that, then we make a violation that I don't know that we can really recover from.
Yeah.
So again, it's making the point that we're not going to stereotype successful people, but we will stereotype successful principles. And when we do that, we'll be better for it.